Announcer bot is active. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is first. The qualification session is at Kalabagi Motorsports Park in Kalabagi, Canada. The race dictator from New Zealand in Stadium 1 is first. Johnny Prince from New Zealand in Beak is third. The race dictator is P1. The race dictator is up 5.82 in crown. The race dictator is up 6.04 in Ralph's Ridge. The race dictator improved his P1 with a 107.310. Moose Knuckle from Canada is P2. Moose Knuckle is provisional pole with a 106.692. The race dictator in crown is P2 up 0.35. Race dictator is up 0.57 in Ralph's Ridge. The race dictator is provisional pole with a 106.675. Moose Knuckle is P2. Best lap is a 106.692. 0.017 off pole. Johnny Prince in throat is third up 0.26. race dictator in crown is P1. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Johnny Prince in deliverance is third. Johnny Prince is up 0.72 in Ralph's Ridge. Moose Knuckle is provisional pole with a 106.629. Moose Knuckle is P1 up 0.10. Best lap is a 106.629. Knuckle is up 0.07 in Ralph's Ridge. Johnny Prince in Ralph's Ridge is P3 up 0.58. Moose Knuckle in Wilson's is P1. Moose Knuckle is provisional pole with a 106.454. Johnny Prince in Brow is P3 up 0.10. Moose Knuckle is P1. Best lap is a 106.454. Johnny Prince from New Zealand in deliverance is P3. Johnny Prince is up 0.36 in book. Johnny Prince is up 0.44 in What's Up. Johnny Prince improved is third with a 106.926. 0.472 off pole. Jason Short from New Zealand in Quarry 1 is fourth up 28.82. Jason Short improved his fourth with a 108.301. 1.847 off pole. Jason Short is up 0.20 in deliverance. The qualifying session is now in overtime. Jason Short is up 0.98 in Ralph's Ridge. Jason Short improved his fourth with a 1:07.621. 1.167 off pole. The race session is at Kalabaghi Motorsports Park in Kalabaghi, Canada. Moose Knuckle from Canada is P1. The Race Dictator from New Zealand is second. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Moose Knuckle is P1. Johnny Prince from New Zealand in deliverance is third. Jason Short from New Zealand in beak is P4. Moose Knuckle in Ralph's Ridge is P2. Johnny Prince in What's Up is third. Jason Short in Stadium 1 is fourth, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle in Brow is second, 0.5 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince in Hook is third, 1.1 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short in 4 left is P4, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle is second. Johnny Prince in deliverance is third, 0.4 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short in beat is fourth, 0.4 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle is second, 0.5 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is third, 0.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Stadium 1 is fourth, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle is second. Best lap is a 1:07.194. 0.633 off the fastest lap. Johnny Prince in hook is third, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is P4, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle is second, 0.2 ahead of Johnny Prince. Jason Short from New Zealand in Deliverance is P4, 0.3 behind Moose Knuckle. "15 minutes remaining in the session. Moose Knuckle exiting pits. Jason Short passed Moose Knuckle for P3. Johnny Prince in hook is P2. New Zealand in hook is P1, 0.1 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince in Ralph's Ridge is second. Best lap is a 1:06.608. 0.047 off the fastest lap. Jason Short is third, 0.3 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle is fourth, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle passed Jason Short for third. Jason Short in Stadium 1 is fourth. Best lap is a 1:06.561. Johnny Prince in Beak is P2, 0.5 behind the race dictator. Moose Knuckle is P3, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince was 0.9 faster last lap. Jason Short in Quarry 1 is fourth, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle is second. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is P3, 0.1 ahead of Jason Short. Johnny Prince lost P3 to Jason Short. Moose Knuckle in Throat is second, 0.8 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is fourth, 0.4 behind Jason Short. behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince in Stadium 1 is P4, 0.6 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle in Beak is second, 0.6 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince is fourth, 0.7 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle is P2, 0.5 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince is fourth, 0.6 behind Jason Short. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Moose Knuckle in Crown is second, 0.6 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince in Throat is fourth, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle in 4 left is P2. Moose Knuckle passed the race dictator for first. The race dictator in Wilson's is P2, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is P3, 0.6 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince in Beak is P4, 0.5 behind Jason Short. The race dictator in Ralph's Ridge is second, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is third, 0.8 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P4, 0.8 behind Jason Short. The race dictator from New Zealand is second, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince on lap 11 is P4, 0.3 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince passed Jason Short for P3. Jason Short is fourth, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator on lap 11 is P2, 1.2 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Deliverance is P4, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince was 1.1 faster last lap. The race dictator in Beak is second, 1.0 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Ralph's Ridge is P4, 0.4 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator in What's Up is second, 1.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is fourth, 0.2 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator in Brow is P2, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is P4, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Five minutes remaining in the session. The Race Dictator is P2, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Wilson's is P4. The Race Dictator in Deliverance is P2, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Beak is P4, 0.7 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator is P2, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in What's Up is P4, 0.3 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator in Stadium 1 is P2, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince is P4, 0.3 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is second, 0.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in 4 left on lap 15 is fourth, 0.4 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince passed Jason Short for third. Jason Short from New Zealand is P4, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator in Crown is P2, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is fourth, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince was 1.0 faster last lap. The Race Dictator is second, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is 4th, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator is P2, 0.6 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short in Brow is 4th, 0.9 behind Johnny Prince. The race dictator in Ralph's Ridge is 2nd, 1.5 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short is 4th, 0.2 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is 3rd, 0.6 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short in throat on lap 18 is 4th, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. The leader has just finished the race. Moose Knuckle finished P1. The race dictator finished P2. Johnny Prince finished 3rd. Jason Short finished 4th. The race session is at Kalabaghi Motorsports Park in Kalabaghi, Canada. Jason Short from New Zealand is P1. Johnny Prince from New Zealand is 2nd. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Race start. Jason Short in Deliverance is P2. The Race Dictator from New Zealand in Beak is P3. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Ralph's Ridge is P4. Jason Short in What's Up is second. The Race Dictator in Stadium 1 is P3, 0.2 behind Jason Short. Moose Knuckle in Brow is 4th, 0.4 behind the Race Dictator. Jason Short in Hook is P2, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator in 4 left is P3, 0.6 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle is P4. Jason Short in Deliverance is P2, 0.2 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle in Beak is 4th, 1.3 behind Jason Short. The Race Dictator is P2, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. Moose Knuckle in What's Up is P3, 1.4 behind the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator in Stadium 1 is second, 0.9 behind Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is P1. Best lap is a 1:07.007. 0.103 off the fastest lap. The Race Dictator is P2, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. The Race Dictator passed Johnny Prince for P1. Johnny Prince is P2. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Deliverance is 3rd, 0.8 behind Johnny Prince. Remaining in the session. Jason Short is 4th, 0.9 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in Spoon is P2, 0.5 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle in Wicked is P3, 0.4 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Stadium 1 is P4, 0.9 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in Beak is second, 1.2 behind the Race Dictator. Moose Knuckle on lap 6 is P3, 0.3 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short in Quarry 1 is P4, 0.4 behind Moose Knuckle. Jason Short passed Moose Knuckle for P3. Johnny Prince is second, 1.2 behind the Race Dictator. The Race Dictator in Deliverance is P1, 1.1 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince is second, 0.1 ahead of Jason Short. Jason Short from New Zealand in Hook is third, battling Johnny Prince. Jason Short lost P3 to Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in 4 left is P2, 1.2 behind the Race Dictator. Jason Short is P4, 0.8 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in Deliverance is P2, 1.2 behind the Race Dictator. Jason Short from New Zealand in Beak is P4, 0.3 behind Moose Knuckle. Johnny Prince in Ralph's Ridge on lap 8 is second, 1.5 behind the Race Dictator. Jason Short from New Zealand in Quarry 1 is P4, 0.7 behind Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle was 3.9 faster last lap. Moose Knuckle is P4 battling Jason Short. Jason Short was 0.7 faster last lap. Moose Knuckle passed Jason Short for third. Jason Short in Throat on lap 9 is P4, 0.4 behind Moose Knuckle. "10 minutes remaining in the session. Moose Knuckle from Canada is fourth, 0.1 behind Jason Short. Johnny Prince in Wilson's is second, 1.3 behind the race dictator. Jason Short from New Zealand in Deliverance is P3, 0.1 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Jason Short passed Johnny Prince for second. Moose Knuckle in Beak is P4. Best lap is a 1:07.129. 0.828 off the fastest lap. Jason Short in Ralph's Ridge is second. Best lap is a 1:06.301. Johnny Prince is P3, 0.3 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle was 1.1 faster last lap. Moose Knuckle is P4, 0.5 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short is P2. Moose Knuckle in Throat is P4, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in 4 left is second, 0.6 behind the race dictator. Moose Knuckle from Canada in Wilson's is P4, 0.3 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Deliverance is P2, 0.8 behind the race dictator. Moose Knuckle in Beak is fourth, 0.6 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Ralph's Ridge is second, 0.9 behind the race dictator. Johnny Prince in What's Up is P3, 1.0 ahead of Moose Knuckle. Moose Knuckle is fourth, 1.3 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Brow is second. Best lap is a 1:06.093. Johnny Prince from New Zealand in Hook is third, 1.2 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in 4 left is P2, 0.7 behind the race dictator. 5 minutes remaining in the session. Moose Knuckle in Wilson's is P4, 1.4 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Deliverance is P2, 0.5 behind the Race Dictator. Moose Knuckle in Beak is 4th, 1.5 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short is 2nd, 0.2 behind the Race Dictator. Moose Knuckle is 4th, 1.3 behind Johnny Prince. Jason Short in Stadium 1 is 2nd, 0.4 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince in Brow is P3, 1.5 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Hook is P2, 0.8 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince is P3, 1.0 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is P2, 0.8 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince in Deliverance is 3rd, 0.8 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is 2nd, 0.9 ahead of Johnny Prince. Johnny Prince was 1.1 faster last lap. Johnny Prince in Ralph's Ridge is P3, 1.4 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Wicked is P2. Johnny Prince in Stadium 1 is 3rd, 1.2 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is P2, 1.1 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince in Hook is P3, 1.3 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Quarry 1 is 2nd, 0.9 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince on lap 17 is P3, 1.4 behind Jason Short. Jason Short is P2, 0.9 behind the Race Dictator. Johnny Prince in Throat is 3rd, 1.3 behind Jason Short. Jason Short in Spoon on lap 18 is second, 0.7 behind the race dictator. The leader has just finished the race. The race dictator finished first. Jason Short finished P2. Johnny Prince finished third. Moose Knuckle finished P4.